Didn't get to be in on the prayer. We prayed for you, trust me. So you got prayed for even if you weren't here. I want to say a huge thank you. Never take volunteerism for granted because it's something people give freely and it's always appreciated. And there's literally no way that I could do this without you. So I want everybody to while you're eating, just keep one of these in front of you because I'm going to talk through it. And I want to do this quickly. And then those that can go. And those that have questions, I'm going to hang around. All right? First of all, this map is color-coded thanks to Kathy's great skills on the computer. If you're wondering what the difference between a 1 and a 1L is, or a 5 and a 5L, 5L would mean life station. So the L stands for life stations, which is basically, it's more of a scriptural focus than a challenge of the bike. The stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are, again, color-coded, that's their location in the park, and that's those are the actual bike rodeo stations. You can see under the canopy that there is a first aid spot, because we will have boo-boos, and there are prizes to be had as well. And again, this should be really easy to follow. Once we get everything transported from here to there, we will set up the courses, and it will make even more sense to you. So if you would flip over the page, I'm just quickly going to do this. Why are we doing this? Well, there are 52 million Americans. By the way, Alex, that's bigger than a lot of us. 52 million that rode a bicycle 2 times a week in 2022. That's a bunch. But the bad news is there were 325,173 bicycle accidents, and that's just the ones that got reported. You know, your kids had accidents and you never turned them in. You know, even if they needed stitches, you just grabbed the needle and thread and went to town. You didn't submit it. So these are only ones we know of. 130,000 of those were on the road, meaning people's lives were in danger because of cars. So a lot of this isn't because bicyclists are good, it's because they're not good. So we want to help our children learn those 4 little skills that you see bulleted there. You're going to have the opportunity to represent God for WisCon, and you're going to do so by your welcome, by your tone of voice, by your positive direction in words, and I'm even going to give you some of those tonight. Our prayer literally is everybody has a great, encouraging time. We're going to have riders, and we're going to have non-riders. So we don't want to differentiate between the two. Basically, if you're a child and you want to participate, Katie, bar the door. It's yours, okay? And then there's event signage that you'll see around the park. Again, thank you, Kathy. By the way, if there's anything that had to do with anything, it was Kathy, okay? Basically, anything that had to do with anything, it was Kathy. So have you registered your child? There will be 2 of those in the park. WisCon welcomes you to our bike rodeo, and let's keep every child safe. So that'll be the big language. Go ahead and flip over to the next page. Here's where it starts getting interesting for you. If you can, wear your Western-themed gear. And if you go, man, I am a contemporary gal or guy, I ain't got no Western gear. Well, you can't have mine. So I'm going to tell you that we do have bandanas. So if you want a bandana to like tie around your neck or cover your eyes or whatever, we have bandanas for you to use if you'd like to. Participants will be moving in 4 groups. So we're going to give out 4 color-coded matching wristbands. That's what they're going to get. If you come as a family, like Betsy, if Betsy was to come with her family and she had all 12 of her children, they would all get the same wristband color, and they will travel as a group together, all right? So that makes that easy. This way we can have the little next part of that saying, which is no child rodeos alone, all right? So we don't want kids racing all over the park. The 4th bullet Stay observant. We're trying to keep children who will be excited from racing around and maybe knocking someone down. Our instruction sheet, which every parent's going to get at the registration, will encourage them to have their child walk their bike from station to station. Yes, they'll ride at the station, but we want them to walk in between. And if you see kids without parents racing around the park, our correction is going to be positive. And again, I've provided you that positive correction. Instead of saying, hey, kid, what are you doing? You're going to hurt somebody? We're going to say this instead. You look like a great rider. See how that started positive? And for everybody's safety, let's please walk our bike from station to station. And then you thank them. Even if they don't do it, you thank them, okay? You thank them. If they don't do it, you get Paul Shakatano. He's my bouncer, and he'll take care of everything, all right? Again, once you learn in just a moment where you're going to be, refer back to the park map for all your locations and your station. Please be ready to go at your station after the worship service at the designated time, which you don't know what that is yet because you haven't seen that part of this yet. You're going to have your Jesus smile on, and you know what that looks like, and your positive spirit for everybody. If you have a question on the day of the rodeo, look for Mark. If you were here this last weekend and saw me in my big blue hat, I will be back in my big blue hat walking the park. So feel free to come and ask me a question. I'll do my best to answer. You'll have everything you need for your station. When you show up at your station, there'll be a box right at the opening part of your station. It's going to have everything you need. So don't be thinking, oh, I'm missing something. Believe me, Kathy and I will have gone through this 152 times to make sure that everything you need is in your box, all right? The participants, riders and non-riders, will have a bike rodeo passport. Look at this cool thing that Kathy has created. It is a booklet that they're going to receive at registration. They will get a lanyard with a transparent, clear plastic case, and in that lanyard will go their passports. Notice, I'm holding it up. There's a place for the name here and a place for the name here. So if you're at a station and you stamp their card, it doesn't matter which way you stick it into, their name is going to show. So if I come to William's station and William doesn't know me, he can quickly, if he wants to, glance at the name tag on the passport, and guess what? He can say, well, hi, little Johnny, how are you today? So we can call children's names if you feel comfortable doing so. I'm not telling everybody they have to. I'm telling you it disarms a child when you call their name, all right? Front and back. There is a side of this that is for the life stations and a side of this that is for the bike rodeo. The bike rodeo has the rope. The life stations, and again, this was Kathy's brilliant idea, has a life-saving. Isn't that a cool idea? So, Kathy just kept having great ideas after great ideas. So you are going to, in your box, receive a stamp. When a child comes to you at your station and attempts to do the activity, either the bike activity or the game activity at the life station, whether they successfully do it or not. So little Susie jumps on the bike, she goes 10 feet, falls over, and a snake strangles her and carries her off, okay? I want you to know she's successful, all right? She's successful. And you will stamp her passport because we love children here at Wisconsin, and they don't have to achieve in order to be loved. If you'll notice, they're color-coded. We have 6 colors. The 6 colors are the same 6 colors for the bike rodeo station and for the life portion of this little passport. So when a child finishes their passport, they will come. Hi. When they come, they will find that every 6 of the bike stations are stamped and the life stations are stamped if they've been a rider. If they're just doing the life stations, meaning they don't have a bike, and that's fine, all they're going to have stamped is the life stations. If you take your passport up to the prize table and submit your passport, It's going to be obvious who did the bike and who didn't. But everybody gets a prize. Do we understand that? Everybody. No child is going to walk away without feeling like they're the best thing since sliced bread. All right? By the way, these are exceptional little tools. And in here, because Kathy is brilliant, have I said that enough times tonight? Because Kathy is brilliant, she has included some 3FX summer programming information in here. She's going to have her very own 3FX booth that's going to have a banner where pictures can be taken with the child and their lanyard. They can have a lab coat on and they can have their little glasses. And so there's all kind of dimensions to this, but we're promoting the next series of events for the summer for children. So if somebody just shows up off the street and says, hey, what's going on? They're going to get this. And they will have information not only for the day that we're there, but for what will be coming in the summer. Brilliant idea. At 12:15, for all rodeo, bike, and life stations, please put your items back in your station, back in the box, and if possible, bring that to the registration table. I'm saying thanks in advance. Even if you forget, I'll still say thank you for being a volunteer that day. But I'd like it if you would save us that one little walk and carry your box back up to the registration table so it makes it easy for us to get it back in the trucks and get it toted back here. I've already told you there will be a centrally located first aid station under the canopy right by the prizes, so anybody that you see screaming and wailing, send them there, okay? And now for the part everybody's been waiting for. If you will turn to the next page, I'm going to go over these areas quickly. By the way, it's 6:19. I'm doing great on time. I just want everybody to know. By the way, if you get up to go back and get seconds, I'm going to assign you 5 or 6 extra things for the people that signed up but canceled after I already had this break. That way, if you get up to go get more food, you can get more work as well as a volunteer, just so you'd know. Seriously, if you want more food, go get it. All right. To help me transport materials from this place right here, and by the way, if you are one of them folk, you will meet me down there at the end of that hall, right in the middle, the south door, which is right by my office. Just like Easter, there's no going upstairs, and the boxes are really light, and it's really quite wonderful. You need to be here, though, by 7:45. It won't take long to load up, trust me. There are 2 game stations that Sam, where is Sam? Thank you, Sam. There are 2 game stations that Sam is loaning to us for the day. One of them is an 8-foot section. How big is your back bed? It'll work. All right. So we have 2 games. The other one's not as big. So there's 2 game sections that Sam has already got built and has been using that we will be using on our activity list as well. So there are 4 of us here to load up, and it should not be a problem. I believe Kathy and William will also be doing. By the way, this is Wild William Smith, if you didn't know, okay? He is a fellow cowboy, and he put Dastardly Dan in jail. So, you know, he's got some clout. Additional setup at the park will include me. Dawn has graciously said yes. Frank is not going to be able to join us. Willie will join us. And Sam, I've stuck you down there because I'm going to count on you to help me. All right? You can see the time, 8:45 to 9:30. Everything should be set up by 9:30 so we don't conflict with the start of worship at all. Registration. There is a young lady named Sarah. Thank you, Sarah, for helping me last Sunday. I appreciate it very much. Notice there are 2 registration times, 9:15 to 9:45, and also after the service from 10:30 to 11:15. That's for those late stragglers. Claudette will be joining you. Joanne has agreed to be there. Warren and Robbie will be there. And by the way, Warren, if you're looking at your name and it says bike check, just hold your patient. We'll get to it in a minute. All right? And Daniel, and there may be a transfer of that. And then at the prize table, Kathy and Terry are going to be there, and Shell are going to be there. Now, the reason that Terry and Shell will be there is because Kathy is going to be running around Hopefully not like a chicken with her head cut off, but she's got multiple things to be involved in that day. Snow cones. Wild William Smith is our point man. He and Kathy are going to man that for us. William, we discussed this earlier. I think there's grass where I've got you. If there's not, just move into the grass. There's plenty of space. Okay? Kayak station. That's the kayak I drug out a couple of weeks ago. Along with that kayak, there's going to be a bunch of bubbles things. So this is where even our tiniest kids can come and use the bubble wands or blow bubbles or do whatever. Plus, we have fill up for those that need it. And by the way, these two, Emily and Lucas, first time they've ever volunteered. They're not here tonight, but I heard from one that really was two, but I didn't know it was four. Okay. Well, some of you may inherit the kayak bubble station, as it sounds like there is some metamorphosis going on there as well. Under face painting, Tao, again, I said Sunday was prepared to do 500 children. She has upped her game, and she says she will do 1,000 children if we can get them there. So she's going to take care of the face painting. And Suzanne, I'm going to throw you into the face painting station as well. I love that look on your face, by the way. That's awesome. It's like, did he just stick a knife in my heart? What has he done? Talk to Tal. She can help you. And I'll tell you this, it looks like I've lost 6 volunteers for Sunday. You will be the first one yanked out of your spot, okay? Not because I think Tal's an amazing face painter. But anyway, there is a temporary tattoo, and I took the face out of it because some kids may say, no, I want it on my wrist, or, I'll put it on my knee or whatever. So, Kathy, that's going to be you. It'll be really simple, simpler than simple. It's peel, stick, and go. There are games, and I'm giving Dawn the overall point responsibility for the games. She is a phenomenally responsible individual, and she truly is the game master. So, game 1. This is cornhole, and if you're thinking this is traditional cornhole, it's not. We'll explain in a bit, but not right now. By the way, the face painting is orange. The blue, thank you. The tattoos are also going to be orange. The games have different colors, like the cornhole game is yellow, Sink the Cow game is brown, and Lasso the Animal is purple. And I did talk to Stephanie today, and she's in, so I'm good there. So those are the life stations that I just spoke to you about. There's 6 of them. Then there's rodeo stations, and some of this is going to have to change because of people not able to join us that day. Janet, you will have the first blue station, you and Alex. And again, I'll explain all these in just a moment. I'm just letting you know so you can look on the map and go, okay, that's where I'm going to be. Rodeo Station 2 is green. Sam, and I talked to her last night, she will be there. You and Betsy will handle that. Station 3 is our orange station. Maria's going to be the point there, and Shelley will be with her. Station 4 is our yellow station. And again, those first 4 are the ones kids are receiving wristbands to start at. And it's not that the brown and purple aren't important. It's just we didn't have the wrist colors to go with them, so we're just sending them to 4 places to start. Steve Parker will be the point person, and Tim will be joining him. Steve asked to get to know Tim, and I thought, what better way than to throw them in the crucible of Rodeo Station 4 and let them get to know each other. Station 5 has been completely wiped out, so it is every real possibility, Suzanne, that's where you're going to end up living your life, but I'm not sure just yet. Station 6 is, in my opinion, the blast fun. It's the most fun. And Dawn, so you might go, wait a minute, I thought Dawn was up at the games. What's she doing over there at Rodeo Station 6? Well, there was a cancellation, and because Dawn is so responsible, she got slid right into that spot. It sometimes it doesn't pay to be responsible, and this is one of those times. Yeah, I can do that. So Mallory, I spoke to her today. She's good. She's in like Flint. All right. Then after all of this is done, there will be a breakdown group of which Scott, we have become 2 instead of 3, as Crystal's not going to be able to join us. I'm going to talk to Steve Hall about joining us to see if he wants to join in the fun. I'm not sure. And then Sam, I may twist your arm as well. First aid table, Terry is going to do that. You might go, wait a minute, she was with Shell and she's with Kathy over at the prize table. Well, if you notice, they're side by side. It won't be a challenge for Terry. She will be up to that challenge. All right. I wouldn't know how to do that because I've never treated first aid in my life at the YMCA, but she will be able to do it. And then the trash taken to Wisconsin. I want to leave this park incredible. By the way, the grass is this tall. We will lose children in the grass if they don't mow between now and Sunday. I'm serious. At your station, you'll be going, Mark, I think there's a child out there somewhere, but I'm not sure. It's very tall grass. So pray that the rain doesn't come and they mow so we don't lose children in the grass. And you think I'm teasing, but I'm really serious. The grass is tall. And then hopefully Steve and I will be able to get all the trash out of there. So registration table, here's your responsibilities. Welcome the participants, which is a given. You're going to give them a wristband, and again, you'll have all this. And they're going to be the same color to the same family. There are 4 colors. You're going to provide the Science 3FX bag and the Rodeo Passport lanyard for each rider. By the way, on the lanyards, tell them, Kathy, what is there on the lanyards? A magnifying glass. And it looks real. I mean, it looks like something that's real. So they will get one of those. You might be worrying, wait a minute, if they're hanging a lanyard around their neck and they're biking, what if it gets caught? Well, what we're going to tell the parents, and it'll be on the instruction sheet, is when they're doing their bike stations, when they're doing the rodeo piece, the lanyard comes off, because you're going to have to get it stamped anyway, and that way we don't have to worry about any injuries of neck variety happening. Parents or an older child should fill out the child's name on a passport, so we don't want writing that is like microscopic, because that doesn't help our volunteers, all right? So we want real names on real paper looking that way. You will give out a 1-page direction help sheet to the parents, and it will have the rodeo event map that is on the front of your details that we've given you. You will check for the fit of the bicycle to the participant. 2 persons should perform the following rider checks. And hopefully Daniel and Warren, but I'm not sure about Daniel. And so the rider checks are down below. They're the 3 bullets. And it's really easy for you to follow along there. None of this is massive rocket science. And so anyway, by the way, on that day, Karen and Paul, I've already told you that Dawn is going to be running the games. Karen and Paul are going to be my second alter ego, all right? Karen, because she knows all things Wisconsin, all right? So if I need something, I'm going to go to Karen. I just want you to know that. I mentioned Paul would be my bouncer, but Paul is probably going to have to fill in because, as you've heard, we've already had 6 drops. So Paul's going to have to be a plug-and-play guy all over the place. It'll look like he's in a pinball machine before it's all over. It's going to be great. I would suggest he wear running shoes on that day, Karen, just so you know. It's just to rotate. So yellow is going to go to the yellow station first. Green's going to go to the, so that way we don't have all kids. Because I can tell you if the kids scope out the course, number 6 is where they're all going to want to go. And I don't want that to happen. So it's not even one of the choices. They can't even start there, okay? So they'll get a 1-page help sheet with the map. You guys will check for the fit. And that's what's going to be happening at the registration table. This is the first contact, first impression. Make it a great one if you're at that table. Smile, let your teeth shine through. Hopefully there's no broccoli stuck in between, but show them the big smile, all right? Station 1 is the blue. So if you look at the map, you can see where the blue folks go. It's balance, navigation, and dismounting. There's an objective, which I'm not going to read all this. And then there's an explanation down below of what you'll be doing. If you're assigned that station and it doesn't make sense, call me, okay? If you're assigned a station and it doesn't make sense, these are easy. None of this is challenging. Station 2 is the green station. It is circling and changing directions. This, I would say, is the biggest challenge. We have a lovely cone with a very cute bear sitting on it. So the children will be writing figure eights, and when they go through the second time, they'll exit at the end of the figure eight, and they're going to have this ring in their hand, and they're going to try to throw the ring over the bear, because that's what a rodeo bike rider would do, okay? So you can see the big ovals there. Those are the 15-foot circles where they'll enter, where they'll exit, and the bear, I even showed you the name. This is the bear on the cone. Station 3 is orange. This is the cowboy boots maneuvering in the rock. By the way, I need 4 more cowboy boots. So if you're not wearing your boots, or if you have a spare pair of boots, I would like to claim I need 4. I have 2, which I wore the other day. I need 4 more for this first part of the station. There's 2 parts to the station, but the first one. And so this station is like, child, what are some things that you might encounter when you're on the road? And so rocks could be what you encounter, potholes, glass, wet puddles, animals. You know, there's dogs. I even have monkeys that will be out on the road, okay? So they will be dodging monkeys as well. Oh, and there's snakes too. So there's just all kind of stuff that they can dodge as they go through this station. Their objective is to successfully do it. The yellow station, which is the 4th of the colors that they will have on their wrist, is our safe stopping ability, our road awareness, and our turning ability. And this is, again, going to be a fun station because this is what it looks like if you ride to the end of your driveway. And by the way, this station is on an incline, so it feels like most people when they're going down their driveway to the street. And then if you know anything about bike riding, you're not to ride on the left side of the road, you're to ride on the right side of the road. So this will be ride to the end of your driveway, and there'll be a line for that. And then it'll be look left, look right, and then turn right, and they'll show you that they can do all of those things at that station. Station 5. Is, I say white, it's not white, it's brown, so that's incorrect in my booklet that I have for you. It's a balance station, and it's a following our road directions and our beanbag tosses. So this is another beanbag spot. This is one of the stations that Sam is letting us use. It's a fence with birds on top. So the kids are going to go riding by. There is a direction that says slow, children at play. It's an actual real sign that you'd find in the real world, and it'll be there on the course. And so they'll slow down, and then they'll maneuver up to this fence, and they'll try to throw a ring or hit the beanbag on the bird and knock the bird over, which no child should ever try to do, but we're going to do it anyway. By the way, these lines are like 3 feet. So there are navigational challenges for the children. It's not just free-for-all. They're trying to stay between the lines, so to speak. Station 6 is the stop and go course. I bought a real stop sign, so there'll be a real stop sign that's on the course. They have to pay attention to the directions, and then they'll continue on. And this is the Super Mario portion of the course because that absolutely goes with bike rodeo. I mean, it fits so perfectly. And so there will be little Super Mario creatures all over the place that they'll have to not smash and run over. And this is going to be a fun station. I was going to get a big Bowser costume, and I was going to have Sam dress in it, but I decided not to do it. So we don't have big Bowser. We have little Bowser, all right? So little Bowser will be there. These are the stations, and when you complete the stations, and if you're a bike rider, you will have done all 12. So now we go on to the life stations. We have a snow cone station. We have a kayak station. This is the bubbles. We have a face painting station. We have a face tattoo station. We have game stations. Again, the cornhole game is inner tubes out there, and then you are going to take corn. So I have sheaves of corn, and you are going to toss the corn and try to get it into the inner tubes. So it's a cornhole game. Get it? We have a Sink the Cow basket game, and this is a game that Sam is loaning to us as well. So this is a basket toss, and I bought little furry farm animals to toss. So there are pigs, and there are cows, and there are sheep, and there are, what was the other one, Shaylee? Sheep, pigs, cows, chickens. And they're cute. They're cute. Every kid's going to want to throw the chicken. But I call it Sink the Cow because I tried to find all cows, but I couldn't do all cows. So it's really farm animals. And then Lasso, the animal ring toss. There'll be a little station with animals, and you'll try to toss a ring around the animal's head. So that's the way that goes. After each of these stations, I can't stress this enough, stamp a child's passport. Don't let them get to Shell at the prize station and present their passport, and they know they did that station, but it's not stamped. We will have children melt down at the prize station if they got to go back. Don't put our children through that. So you have very few responsibilities, but stamping the passport is really important. They will be using these passports at all of their overseas travel as well. So I just want you to be aware of that. At the prize table, they will show you their passport. So they're going to physically have to take it out of the lanyard. If they've done all 12 stations, there'll be 12 stamps. If they've done 6, there'll only be the life side posted. They still all get a prize. It's no big deal. And when you do their passport, because there are certain children, I won't name any names, who get a prize, and then they get back in line because they want what? Another prize. So in order to be fair to everybody and make sure that we have enough, you'll get a prize. So there'll be a stamp when you've finished their passport and checked it over. So that way, if they show back up again, oh, you've already got a stamp. You already got a prize. All right? When they show up and they submit it, they're going to get a prize. It's a prize that Kathy has purchased. We're just going to give it to them. All right? Also, they then will be allowed to pick a prize. So we give them a prize, and then they get to choose a prize. No, it doesn't matter what prize they choose. If you think, that's not appropriate, that 18-year-old child shouldn't have picked that prize, well, that's not your judgment call, okay? Whatever prize they pick is whatever prize they pick. We shouldn't have 18-year-old children, but you never know. They are going to get their passport stamped, and then you're going to provide them what we call a glad card. And so the wording on the glad card is, we're so glad you came. Hope you had a wheelie good time. Get it? Wheelie good time? Stay safe. By the way, I threw that in there just for Karen, just so you'd know. And it'll have Whitestone Church of the Nazarene, our website, and then our Bridge brand will be on it as well. You at the prize tables will probably be the last WisCon encounter these kids have on that day. Make it dynamite. Smile. Go over the top. Look, you completed. You did all the challenges. I'm so proud of you. All right? At the game stations, even if a kid is unsuccessful totally and completely in every way, I've provided you language on what to say to them so that they feel affirmed. Man, you did a great job. You almost did it. Why don't you come back again and do it another time? I'm sure you'll get it then. So it's forward-leading. It's positive. It's affirming. That's what we want to be to children on this day. All right? I put all this together because it's really important that you feel like we can be successful, that you would know what you're doing. I put all this together so you're not wondering every 5 seconds, what is it Mark wants me to do? What is that? You have this. And aside from a color that I put wrong as white when it should have been brown, do what now? Homework. You can call me. I don't care when. I prefer it not between the hours of 1 and 4. But call me if you have questions or if you're unsure or if you have to cancel. Don't let me get to Sunday morning at 11 o'clock and you not be there, because it will hurt my heart. It will break and shatter and fall on the ground, okay? I don't want that to happen. So if you have to not come, by the way, all the people that have called me and said, hey, I can't be there, I've affirmed them, I've thanked them. In other words, no harm, no foul. I'm grateful they're letting me know now instead of Sunday at 11, okay? So sicknesses happen, things happen in life. I get it. I understand. I totally understand. I have a few other people, like, again, Paul's my kind of ace in the hole that could move around. I've got Suzanne that I'm going to probably be sliding around. Sam, I may have to pull you in multiple directions. Sandy and Frank called me yesterday and told me that they're going to come and help, so that's awesome that we're going to have 2 extra bodies to plug and play. So it's going to be 40-something volunteers that makes this event happen on Sunday. I'm proud of you for enduring dinner and then listening to this. Karen, I said we would be done, and I want you to look at the time. I did, and we are done. So I'm going to say a closing prayer, and then again, if there's more food you want because you're hungry, eat it, and if you didn't like it, don't tell me, okay? So let's just spend a moment before the Lord. God, we're honored that you chose us. We're grateful that we said yes. Help us on Sunday to be the eyes and the mouth and the hands and the feet of Jesus and even the smile of Jesus. Let's make all the children who we have present on that day feel like they are the most incredible people in the world. Let's give ourselves over to loving others. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for everybody's willingness here. And we ask this in Christ's name. Amen. If you have questions and you're afraid you'll forget them because you have a full mind already, write them down, call me, ask me. You can find me that morning as well. Yes, Kathy?
If they have a child come up to their station and their child doesn't want a snow cone, but can they still get there to stand?
Yes, they can. So you are not turning any child away, okay? They may hate snow cones with all of their passionate 4-year-old heart. And if they hate snow cones as a passionate 4-year-old, don't force a snow cone on them, okay? Stamp. Yes, Sam? Why don't you, since you've offered, why don't you bring that in the event that we need it? And I'm just going to tell you, we're going to station that by the first aid station. Okay, so that'll be its central location, and I'll make that announcement. By the way, at 10:30, when Pastor is done, there will be a gap between 10:30 and 11 when this event starts. Those of you doing registration, you don't wait. You go right to that table because there will be people coming to register. Everybody else, we are going to have 30 minutes of time to fill. I have asked Betsy, and she has graciously agreed to do this with the worship team. They're going to do 3 songs for us, so there'll be additional worship after the service. And then I will teach the kids a verse where we'll do sign language again, and we'll probably play a few goofy things. And then at 11 o'clock, we'll release to go out into the park based on their color band. And I'll go through all of the directions for all the parents again, so they've heard it multiple times. Okay? No snow cones before 11. Yeah, don't. Willie is directed to be at his station at 10:45, but that's to get everything right. He has to test all of the flavors to make sure they're good.
Volunteer for that. We had multiple kids who did not even have bikes. So how are they going to navigate to stations without a bike?
So that's why there's bike stations and there are life stations. So life stations, no bike, you just go and do it. If they want to go ahead and go get an extra stamp at one of the bike stations, great. But the way we thought about it, with 6 stations and 6 bikes for kids that are this big, and 6 bikes for kids that are this big, and 6 bikes for kids that are this big, and 6 tricycles for kids that are this big, I would have spent a fortune on bikes. So you can bike if you want to. You don't have to. You still can be a meaningful participant on the day. And if you want to go around and see Bowser at that station, or go see the birds on the fence, or whatever, go for it. Okay? But we won't have extra bikes that day.
And so you understand, the bike rodeo prize is the same for everybody, and they're getting a medal that says they completed the bike rodeo station. The life stations give you the ability to do.
Yeah. So again, we want every child to feel like they walked away feeling special. Okay, whether they bike or not. All right. Any other questions?
Oh, can they do both?
Yes.
Like you have a bike and then you want to go do the game?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is, kids that don't have bikes, what they're not getting is the medal that says they completed the bike rodeo.
Yeah. So if you want to do, so your passport's got 12 stamp spots, meaning you could do all 6 bike stations and all 6 life stations. Okay? Yes.
Do you think some of the children will borrow their brother or cousin's bike and do both?
I think that'd be great if they do. We're not hearing it. So this particular question was, can they borrow a bike and do it? Yes, they can. All right. There's no rule that says you can only ride your bike. So you can borrow away if you want to. And if we have sharing children and they want to share their bike with somebody else so they can do the station too, that'd be an awesome lesson in life right there.
Do they have to do the stations in order?
No. So whatever station you get that's like yellow, the answer is yes. Oh, do they have to do the stations in order? So here's the deal. If you get a yellow band, you're going to have this map. You're going to see where yellow goes, and you're going to go to yellow because that's where your first station is. All right? But then if you go, man, I saw Bowser over there. I want to see if I can ride by Bowser. I'm going to go to station 6 next. I'm going to go to that station that's colored purple. I don't want to go to the next station, which is, supposed to be green. You don't have to go in any order, but you have to start where your band is. So we don't have a line immediately form at every station. That's the reason. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. I know this is a little bit new. Don't worry. God's in it. It's going to be good. Okay? Blessings all. Be safe, stay safe, live safe.